what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Do you want to fight your boss? Do you want to fight there? But you should be able to stand up for after showing
You have stood
results,
up. No,
showing
because you
data.
should, exactly.
That tells you what to use.
You stood up. You showed. I think it's at the end of the day, it's going to have to be either you do it or you don't do it. Yeah.
Or you don't do it. Welcome
To another
fantastic episode of Behind the Beer. Today I have my not so humble but humble guys,
sure
co-hosts, Queen Mother, lady in the
Queen Mother.
Aditola, with me.
Queen Mother what? Queen Mother how?
I have Shiro with me as well today, guys. Welcome on board.
Queen Mother, what the toilet it is?
Queen Mother now for
Queen Mother what?
of design. Move.
Please.
Hi guys. Today I think we should talk about the roles user research play in the industry, in the design industry, and this cascades down from the stakeholders, product owners, and down to designers. And it's not just it doesn't stop at the table of designers actually, because it also affects what other team members do in the team. For instance, front-end engineers, they just see what the design looks like. Back-end engineers look at what the design looks like as well, and they write their code. However, if you get it wrong from the start, then everybody's doomed to fail. Do you understand? So today, let's really talk about the importance of user research and design. Right? Do you think it's important to start proper, right? Do a proper budgeting, time availability for user research, or based on the experiences so far and what we've also seen other people do they give enough time, enough resources for user research? Shane, what do you think?
Yes, well, I would say it's very important. It's very, very important. Research is like, remember when the Bible went on to let it be light? Let it be light. So I'll say let it be research. Like the first part of every software development. So without that, they are just creating something
without the foundation.
Without a strong foundation. You can actually create something, but it doesn't mean that the foundation you can last at every time, because that research helps you to understand a lot of things. The product that you're about to make, the user, people that are using it, even the point that you can actually get answers to some of the problem you're trying to solve.
So yes,
true. Research is very, very important. And I think businesses, startup, everybody should spend more time on research. It's not just 1 week to do like 3 months on research first.
So that when I just give it that time.
That's the issue. So we need to preach and gospel more. And
true.
We need to. You need to understand what you are building. You need to understand who you are building for.
Yeah,
and why you're actually building it. Sometimes that is even when you discover that I don't need to build this thing.
Yes.
Or
maybe wasting your time.
Maybe wasting your time because somebody's doing it somewhere already in their time. So it can help you change your direction.
Yeah.
You might be going with A, but after research, you find out that, let me do B or C. And I get more user, more revenue on that particular part. So I'll say research is very, very, very important. And even apart from the general, like everybody stakeholder at party, designer, you need to do more research, because research also shapes the way you design.
Yeah.
It tells of structuring out when you're ideating, things like that. So research is very important. You shouldn't skip it.
Okay, so to talk, do you think, or let's look at the types of research, right? Which one do you think is the most important between qualitative and quantitative?
The most important.
Yeah, but it depends actually.
Yes.
Yeah, but let's put them on the same. Like which one do you think is most important? Because
It
quantitative,
depends,
Yeah, I don't want to
depends.
even say one because they both matter. Like they both are important. So having to say, because it depends on the outcome, like you said,
Yeah.
there are several reasons why.
Yeah,
So I think that to say which one would you take, I think I'll just say that it depends on the project. It depends on what you're trying to achieve by the several types of research that exist, because there are several types of them.
Yeah.
So I think the project in itself will determine which type of research you prioritize over the other.
The audience you're trying to solve for.
Yeah, the audience you're trying to solve for, the reason, like all of those
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
Okay, but if you want to do them side by side, I will pick qualitative because I'll tell you that in-depth knowledge.
Exactly. You have that one-on-one direct.
Yeah.
You have that one-on-one conversation with the person
Yeah.
you're talking to.
Yeah. So, not like she said, it depends on what you're trying to look for.
Yeah, though, but how often do people do qualitative research in this industry? In the country?
It depends on the project. It depends on what you're trying to find.
Yeah, we know it's the depends on the project.
How often? I don't.
Have you seen references where people, not carrying out qualitative research?
So I would say that I think they do. I think, but it depends on how in depth it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and that's a lot of factors: the time, the resource in terms of financial resource, even capital resource, people, and things like that. So, I would say that I think that a level of qualitative research is done. It just depends on how in depth it is, like how solid that research is. Some of them are surface level. Some of them are like they are like mid level. Some of them. So I'll say we don't really do a thorough, in-depth research where we're trying to solve problems, especially like of course in the user experience space side of things.
Because it's beyond just sending out Google Forms.
And having conversations.
That's quantitative.
Yeah, that's qualitative. It goes beyond that. It goes beyond competitors probably.
Yeah.
So it's like several factors into it. Like, why are you this problem? Is it worth solving? Why are you doing what you're doing? What's the purpose? What's the aim? The hows and the whys. The H and the W's questions that you need to ask. So it depends on a number of things. So research is very, very, very vital. If not, actually not. Yeah, just
Outside tech, say, or you see
for everything. Yeah.
actual company.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yes. You need to get those data right.
I think for every level of business, because for every human interaction, especially if you're solving problems that has to do with humans are complex individuals.
Yes.
We have insatiable needs, and we have varying needs as well. What I need is not necessarily what you need, even though we're in the same demographic, right? But so that's why research helps you sift through all of that, and it gives you that focus on who, why, and what you're solving for, and even if it's even worth solving in the first place.
So I know which result.
Yeah.
For the sake of our audience, people that don't know much about user research, people that also know more about it but want to find out more. Do you think I know there are steps, right, to user research. I know there are types of reader research, but what other methods can we use for user research that people don't really focus on aside from the qualitative, the behavioral and co? Do you have any?
In this part of the world, I think we should focus more on user interview more.
One-on-ones.
One-on-one more.
Why?
Speak with people, because I noticed that we don't really do that.
Yeah.
This is my own point of view.
Yeah.
I might be wrong.
No, you're not wrong.
I feel we don't really do user interview in depth, like speak to actual user. You might not be everybody. You cannot speak like maybe 10, 20 people. Yeah, just speak to them, get their own perspective of how they use your product.
Guys, let's consider feedbacks, right? Do you think feedbacks that we get from the public that, whichever group that you guys created that, they'll give you that direct feedback, do you think those feedbacks are valid? Right? And I'll give you a reason why I'm asking this. So you have a group of 30, 20 people, and then you pay them 1K, 2K each just to get, their thoughts, their feedback, right? Some people will come for that money. Do you get 1K, maybe 1K, maybe let me just say what's on my mind, right? Just to, get that benefit from you and then move on. So do you think those feedbacks are valid? Right? If they are, then how do you, determine if they are valid or not?
I think the first thing is how did you get your user? That is not bad.
Yeah.
So where you're getting a user is very, very important. Another thing is the kind of question you ask to. You know when somebody is just giving you vibes, you can layer it.
Yeah.
Authentic and you know that okay, this is vibe. This person is bound for what he's saying. Exactly. So
That's
you know,
me.
I've done research and I know that okay, this one is just trying to just do fast game as you not waste their time and things like that. So you will know all those things as a professional. And there's something else I wanted to say that skipped my mind. Also, after you are done, but this is after.
Yeah.
You can validate it.
You
can validate it after. Can validate that, but that one is after. So you'll have maybe wasted resources and time. But at that point, there are ways that you as a professional, you can tell when somebody is just giving you vibes instead of real answers.
So that brings the bottleneck. So do you think online feedbacks are valid? The feedbacks you get from Twitter,
not all.
IG,
not all of them. Not all the feedbacks are valid on Twitter. But so I'm okay, not Twitter now, on social media, like online.
Social media.
So I think I would say that there are like two divides. The first one is those that are the direct consumer of your product and service.
Yeah.
Those ones will definitely give you valid feedback.
Yes.
And then on the other hand are those people that just want
For
to
the
just for the vibes, and those that have not even experienced the product before, and they just want to say something. Maybe maybe it's in terms of the interface. This is not fine. This can be better. This is not
things
nice.
that they've heard.
Or things that they've heard exactly. So those are like the two divides that I'll say that yes, depending on which aspects of the feedback is because definitely the ones from your direct consumers, you definitely take those ones like very like you look into it, you scrutinize. So some people too depends on some of those feedbacks. So even from those that you get that are the direct contact of your service may not also be entirely true.
Yeah.
Depending on also a number of factors. But there are the ones that need other priority. You prioritize those ones first, and then the ones that are just for several reasons, clickbait, just to come and ban, or just come and say stuff so that people will know that they said something. Those ones you just ignore.
Okay. So I think another thing that we should also look at is how do you find those group of people that will give you that value that you're looking for?
You can't find them 100%. You cannot find them. You will see out of that.
You will still get a middle.
There's some people that are just doing
for fun.
Well, I think that I think that if it's so they also you may necessarily be able to find them if you and this like I said in earlier, it is except maybe if it's a new product that's just coming up that it's not something that you've not tested it before. So yes, like Sheol said, you definitely not get 100% of people that. Especially when the community there's not a sort of incentive that they are that's just what's enticing them.
Exactly.
So if it's like they will just come for the incentive and say whatever it is you want to hear. They will not come and tell you that the idea is rubbish because they know that they will tell you things that they believe you want to hear.
Yeah.
But for the part where this service or product already exists, it's not a deliberate act of now reaching out to these people to say, and there are several ways in which products have done that. Some use rating, some use one-on-one conversation. Some like when you call their customer service and they provide the service where they'll ask you, how was your experience? So there's also that approach. So for a product that already exists, I think that you can genuinely get your feedback that will be value for you. Do you understand? For your product and service and improve on it. But the part where it's a new build, maybe a product that's never been experienced before, it's a bit tricky because,
But how can we solve for that? Because that is actually, that's actually a very, very vital point. For new products, new ideas, right? You need valid feedback from people. So how do you...
Another thing you can actually tell from where you're gathering your insight, the patterns, you will see outliers. Outliers and vibes. People are just doing different things.
Yes, okay.
So you will know. So, but to remove those, I don't want to call them shafts, but to remove those guys that just might be.
But I also think that if one is also intentional, like I said, it may not be 100%, but if one is intentional about going for those that you're actually solving the problem for, you will get more valid feedback than just doing a random gathering of people.
Recruitment matters.
I think that would also be easy if you are building a product that already exists. So you can look at people that have been complaining about a particular product, maybe online or offline, and then try to bring those kind of people together. what are the bottlenecks that you've been experiencing with so and so product, right? So that we can try, exactly. This is how we are trying, to solve for that so that we can bring those guys on board. Because we've seen that in the market already. Let's take, for instance, fintech apps. Before, we don't have receive your money instant.
Yeah.
Right. The likes of OP and PanPay be able to do that, and they're able to onboard a lot of customers. So that's like an example of what I'm trying to say.
And with that, they even now changed the game in the financial institution.
Exactly.
Because now the commercial banks are now, they've had no other choice than to do better. Yeah. And they're now trying to say, and that helped, yes.
Mm-hmm. So it's like it's valid, but getting those 100% feedbacks, right, from a group of people that you've been together is just a challenge for me, right? Because I think that some people are just there to game you, just to get your incentives.
Yeah.
Do you get? Some people also, let's even take it online, for instance. Some people just want to get maybe engagement or,
there's
a word they use, I forgot it. Just that attention. Do you get? The particular slang they call it. So they just tell you what you want and then they move on. Right. And then maybe a particular incentive that you have, you just read and move on. So it's kind of a concern, right? How that can be validated.
Another thing is, don't just do one research, do multiple research.
Okay. So like how do you,
like, let's say for, like we said, when we're talking about qualitative and quantitative, you can actually do both.
Yes. Yeah.
And use it to validate each other to see how you can get patterns from it.
Okay.
So that also help. Maybe. Yeah.
Okay. So all in all, let's bring this to bed. Do you think companies in Nigeria or business owners in Nigeria release enough resources for user research? I'm talking about resources, I'm talking about funds, I'm talking about time. Because you can have enough time, but you might not have enough funds. You might have enough money, but you might not have enough time. So do you think, they make that available for people that build the product?
I would say no and yes. No from the angle of when they're starting off.
Yeah.
They don't really pay attention to research.
Yeah.
Design generally. Let's even
say they don't pay
attention. So
they give you
most of our product from Nigeria is just based on logic. I just want it function at first. They don't pay attention to research, they don't pay attention to design. Then after they now raise money, that's when they will now start battling with design.
Yeah, well, that's headache.
Yes.
Because you have to pay for that company. You have to pay for that particular research that you're running away from. Yeah, you have to pay for
more designers to
it's a debt.
do all those things.
Yeah.
So if you notice, most of our founders are engineers. Not even
we haven't
product
design.
Yeah, it's just
recent.
So now it's just developers. Before, rather, we have most of all these giants that are mostly CTO, software engineers and all. It's just recent that we are now having product managers, product designers that are now founders.
Yeah.
So that's like the foundational problem. So as I said, no, yes. So some now, the recent ones started adopting, learning from mistakes from others. So from there, started using research more.
But what do you think, Tala?
Yeah, same thing. I would say, based on my experience and what I've seen, I would say it's been a yes and a no. But I think it's getting better.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's getting better because at least compared to a couple of years ago, it was more
this is
what I want to do. So it was more of like an idea generation, and then you're running with that to provide solution. And then, of course, initially, along the line, there's always going to be a problem because there's going to be lots of user experience issues, a lot of it, and then that research that we're running away from that should have at least solved half of the problem.
Yeah,
you now have to go back to it, and it's more expensive then because a lot of resources has gone even into building the products initially. So it's as good as just laying the foundational work and then building from there.
So one more thing I think we should talk about before we round off. You've done your research. You have enough data. Now you now have an ODD business owner, organ-driven design. So do you think such a person will allow you translate the data you have into a proper? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? right?
Things like that, they like results. Sometimes you just have to
So you take your data instead of translating the data you have into a proper design decision and create a very smooth workflow in terms of your product development. But no, you've done your research and no, but
even though they are aware of the fact that
you've done
the
your
research and this is the results from that research.
They don't care. They don't care. Right, because
I don't think they're off the business. Nothing you can.
I don't think that should be the case.
Yes, but
what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Do you want to fight your boss? You want to fight the?
But you should be able to stand up for
after showing
results,
showing
because
data.
Exactly.
That tells you what to use.
You stood up. You showed. Like I think it's at the end of the day, it's going to have to be either you do it or you don't do it. Yeah, because you have tried to. You have used every skill. You've persuaded. You've shown data. You've done everything. And the person is saying, what I want. I really don't care about your research or your data.
So let me say this.
Yeah, not an experience of that.
Exactly. Yeah. So you do your research and then you start the project proper using your, gathered feedback, your research.
I'm sorry, another question I want to ask.
Yes.
This particular organ or company funded this research because
yes.
I'm trying to see how like sensible it is that you funded a research process. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just thinking about the rationale behind that thought to say you sponsored this research. There was a goal.
The funny thing.
And this goal was communicated.
The funny thing.
Do you understand?
They allow you go ahead with your research and then in the middle of the product development or, project, and then they come and say, they start stylishly, they start bringing in their ideas. Okay. Why don't you do it this way? There's a part of you that wants the product the way you thought about it.
Yeah. Shadowman is like comments around. I don't like this.
You start moving away from that data that you've been able to gather and then you are now, falling into that ODD. No, do it this way. Do it that way. Then you start, at that point, you start losing people.
Even at that point, you should question them. Okay, why are we doing it this way? We see we already have data.
Some people don't care. If you don't do this,
you never experienced anything like that before?
No, I have. But
because I'm thinking about it now. I actually have.
So you've done your research, you've done your homework, but in the middle of your product development,
things
you start saying,
changed.
Nah, let's do it.
Yeah.
I don't like that. If I do something based on research, based on data, I'm doing it for you the way you want. No, there's nothing.
But I don't think there's anything because really, there's nothing you can do. There are only two outcomes. It's either you do it or you don't, because your hands are tied.
Yeah.
You've done it the right way, and they are telling you, and it's not your company, it's not your product, it's not you. Like you are just working for this person. You are part of this plan to bring this idea to life.
So working is not good enough, but eventually, do you think those kind of businesses thrive later on or not?
I think some of them do.
Some do, some don't.
Some of them
but
do.
There's nothing you can do.
I think some of them do because there's a tool, like there's an international tool that most organizations, even though they complain about it, they still use it.
User flows. What
do you say?
I said user flows.
For everything, for meetings, for schedulings, and they still use it. And even though the experience is bad and all of that, so I think that sometimes yes, they still are in the business.
Okay, guys, I think we should put this out there as well. Let's hear from people. Guys, what do you think?
Comment.
Yeah. So give us your experience. Tell us your experience. Have you worked with this kind of people before? People, ODD. I want this thing done in my way, the way I want it. Right. Don't forget to follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
At Behind the Youth.
Yes. Also help tell us how research has shaped your work.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Thank you.
It was about your stubborn boss. So we are done.
All right.